All right. So this podcast, back for another podcast. This one is going to be a little shorter than our
Only
last
one movie.
one. Right, just one movie dealing with faces.
Directed by John Cassavete.
Right, actor turned director. Right.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know much about. This is the only movie I've really seen of his that he directed, and I don't think I've ever seen a film of his that he starred in either.
No, I don't think so. I thought he sounded familiar. Like he sounded like French in name. Right?
Cassavetes, a little bit.
Mayan, you know.
Right.
But it's not the case.
I mean, with this review, I guess. Do you want to start off with the summary of the film,
the movie,
just to break it down?
Yeah. To sort of refresher. It's just a man and a woman. You know, their husband and wife. Man, you know, suddenly asks for a divorce with his wife, and then the film proceeds, and they do different things. The woman sort of spends the night with her friends and a man she sort of falls in love with, and then the man goes out with some friends and some prostitutes and just spends time with them, and at the end of the film, the man comes back to the place they live in, and he sees the woman with the man she fell in love with the night before, and he runs away, and then they just sort of share a cigarette, and that's how the movie ends. We could talk more about that part later, but yeah, that's really about it, about what the movie really deals with.
Right. I mean, that ending kind of threw me off guard. Just like that, it was just over.
Yeah, well, I knew it was coming because, I was looking at how much time was left, and I knew the film was 2 hours, 10 minutes.
Yes.
Or one from this disc was, but if you look up the movie, it actually says 3 hours and 3 minutes. So, yeah.
So that's how you knew that it was going to end there.
Yeah.
And I mean, so starting off with the ending, what I got from it was, well, like throughout the whole movie, the camera was very close up.
Claustrophobic a little.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Good Time and
I was about to.
You mentioned, yes.
Right, when we were watching the film.
Yeah, you mentioned it.
I mentioned, these close-up shots of everybody's faces. There goes the key word, the word of the film.
It's a little different though, because this isn't like Uncut Gems or Good Time. It's not, it's not the same. It's supposed to be much more calm. It's not like a stressful movie, like especially Uncut Gems, or like a thriller like Good Time. It's just a drama about different people. So I still thought it was very.
It's no crime movie.
Yeah, I still thought it was very claustrophobic though.
Definitely.
Not make me very comfortable to watch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For me, it was just. It didn't give me any sort of feeling. It was just. For me, it was just. Oh, it's close-up shots. Yeah. Okay. And then just moving on. I don't know. That was just.
Just a little bit of discomfort for me.
Discomfort. Right. And I mentioned that just to say that at the ending, when the husband comes home. To find his wife's young lover running away, the camera just starts to pan out, and it ends with them with a shot of I don't know what type of shot it would be, but
like with the stairs.
A shot of the stairs, both of them sitting on the stairs, just smoking a cigarette.
What was the last word in the movie? He got like mad at her, and he threw her against the wall, and then she slapped him, and then he didn't talk anymore, right?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
It's a blur to me, but.
Oh wait, yeah, they did talk when they were sharing the cigarette, but that was. I feel like that really wasn't the real last words in the movie.
Right.
They were just,
Yeah, I don't remember what they said, but the camera just pans out. And it just shows both of them of more of a wider angle lens.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there was any symbolism to that. Do you think so, or was it just another stylistic choice?
You know,
because I have nothing to reference because I've never seen any of his other movies. You know.
You know, I think when you first watch it, you don't know what the symbolism is, but you probably think there's some type of symbolism. And then when you think about it more, it's sort of hard to tell even if there is any. I mean, it's like, I don't know, you know. I mean, I think there's symbolism, but then I don't even know, so maybe there is, you know. I really don't know. What about you? What do you think?
I mean, this film didn't seem to me as a symbolic movie. It was very...
Was it sort of like...
realistic.
Like Ozu, like, well, not in the same, like, made in the same way, but sort of just how people live, I feel like.
I guess so.
Just because those movies aren't really, like, about anyone or anything. Well, they are, but, like, they're not, you know, they're just about how people live.
Well, when it came to comparing it to other films in its similarity, we were talking about this right after the film, it gave me a great impression of...
Oh, Bob Le Flambeur?
Yes, Bob Le Flambeur. I can't even do it.
I can't say it either.
But Bob the Gambler in English, which by Melville, Jean-Pierre Melville, which I took it as similar to Faces just due to the cinematography of the grainy black and white camera that was used to film the movie, and also how it deals with the older, middle-aged to elderly male lead, as in Bob the Gambler.
Yeah, I think that character was pretty similar.
And how, because in that film, he goes out with a younger woman as well. And there's definitely something in both of the films about how they're getting too old to be young to do what we would deem as youthful things, They're going through a little bit of a midlife crisis. They want to be, he out of nowhere in Faces, the main lead asks for divorce,
Right. He's not exactly the nicest guy. Like, throughout the film, he always does these sudden, he says these things that are kind of just disrespectful,
Like, oh, you're a terrible cook.
Right.
To the young lady. And that, that's another thing I wanted to mention. These sporadic changes of emotion.
I know.
Out of nowhere. It was really only the main guy.
Yeah, a little bit with the mustache guy, and then his friends, right? Those guys also did it a little too.
Right, and that's another thing. The movie took place in literally a day, and a little bit into the next morning.
Right, it felt like one of those one-shot movies, right? Like 1917 or Rope.
Birdman.
Yeah, Birdman. Right.
It was just in the fact that not a lot of time passed in between each sequence.
Yeah, that's why it felt that way.
Yes, that's probably why it felt that way. But as I was saying, there's definitely something to Bob Le Flambeur and Faces about generations. I mean, Ozu deals with generational gaps as well, but more just the generation of old age, and of how Bob the Gambler is getting too old for his he's out of his prime.
Yeah, that's right.
And here
it's a little bit different made. It's more subtle, but it's similar.
Right, it's trying to reach out for something more than their boring life of being successful, because he's like a president of a big firm, but just wanting some spice, some adventure to their life.
Yeah, I feel like there's a movie that's similar to that. It's like
many synopses like that. I would believe. No movie comes to mind except Bob Le Flambeur.
Yeah.
That was the one that jumped out to me really quick.
Yeah, I forgot it, but like I forgot it. Like there's a lot of movies like that. Similar synopsis, as you said.
Right. I mean, the movie is just really about a bunch of middle-aged people cheating on each other. Like literally every character is cheating on their partner. You got, of course the main couple.
Right.
Both cheating on with younger people. What do you make of that?
I mean, it, like, after a while watching the movie, you just expect it, I feel like, among all these people. It's not like when it's not after a while when you see all these people cheating on each other, like you said, it's not even surprising anymore. It's just, it doesn't, like, if there's another movie or it's totally about one person cheating on another person, something like that, then you'll definitely react much more differently, probably much more uncomfortably than you would in this film. That's what I make of it.
I see. Yes, and also when it comes to the main relationships of the old man and the young woman and the old woman and the young guy, I thought that the old man and the young woman's relationship was way stronger than the old woman and the young man's relationship.
Yeah, I mean, did you see when he was like slapping her? He was like, just cry, it's okay.
That definitely threw me off guard. But they didn't seem to connect like on the screen as the old man and the young woman did. Mm-hmm. I thought their chemistry was way better. And so that was a criticism I had with the film. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's what I have down as my main points, about the movie. Anything else you'd like to add on?
Well, let me think. I just wanted to add on. I don't know if we talked briefly, I think, about this, but just all this like random yelling throughout the movie and arguing. It's just, I thought it was very unique. It was.
Really.
I mean, it's a very different movie.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There's an aura around it that you don't get from other films. Yeah, especially not American ones.
Had it not been different, it would probably be just harder to like, I feel like,
Right.
If the movie wasn't like, if it didn't have a super close cinematography, if it didn't have, all the just the way people acted were different from other films, and all that. It was sort of still about the same thing. I think it would have been tougher for me to like.
I liked the movie. It was pretty good.
It was good.
I didn't really like it, but it was solid.
Yeah. It was worth
well
it.
Put together movie. And honestly, sometimes I couldn't even understand, especially the main character, like what he was talking about, what he was saying.
Oh yeah, it's like they speak regular English, a little New Yorky sort of, but or whatever. I don't know. I'll just call it the Yankee accent. But you still don't understand it.
Right. I don't, and for most of the film, I was just at a loss a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I think the general idea, for me at least, I was able to get it. But yeah. Yes, that's all I wanted to really speak about when it came to Faces by John Cassavetes. Anything else you'd like to speak on, touch on, before we wrap this up?
At least you got to check out his other movies.
Definitely.
We haven't seen any of them.
Right. I heard The Killing of the Chinese Bookie is supposed to be really good. I mean, a lot of filmmakers really like his films.
Like
from what I've heard, what I've heard and seen. So.
Yeah. So what are we gonna watch next?
What are we gonna watch next? I thought we had something planned. Oh yes.
Well, we have something.
We might have The Lady Killers up next to review.
Oh, do we have that? Oh yeah, I think we do, right?
Yes, I believe Dad is gonna get the DVD to bring up.
Okay.
To Michigan, but maybe another film. Who knows? We'll see. But until next time, take care. It's the ABR Filmcast.